go back again to make the next tutorial. The next thing we're going to do is creating our own controls. I was initially going to do this as a NuGet package, but I found difficulties with it, so I decided that it might be best for me to teach you how to make the control, and therefore you'll be able to make the control further down the track. So we have to start off, instead of a new, just opening up the same project, we're going to start a new project just for this, and we're going to call it control review control tool. It has to be an ASP.NET server control, and we'll start it up. Now, initially, it doesn't say to do this, but I've found when doing the tutorial it might be the best for us to make the class first, and I'll explain the class. It's going to be called review data, so add new class. Now, review data. Okay, add that, and then copy and paste all this in, and that's done. Okay, so now you got the class. Just go through and explain some of these things. These are all set at the start, so if someone doesn't have a reply, they're not going to need to put a reply in. Yeah, it should be clearer later on in the track, but we'll start off by, I think, just getting rid of all this. Now, that's something. Okay, so we'll just set up this attributes. Okay, so there you go, you're using the review data. Then protected, override, and create shoulder controls. There we are. Okay, this is the first thing we're going to have to do. And we're going to have to put in the following. It already has a controls clear. Well, it did anyway. But we put in controls clear, and then all this. Okay, now. Just coming out that. And I'll tell you what this is doing. This is clearing all the controls, obviously. And then it's creating a table object. This whole generation is based on this list object. So anyway, it creates a table object, gives it a class name table field so that we can add classes to it and make it look better. If the reviews are not equal to 0, so if there are reviews, it'll run all this code. Otherwise, it'll just say, it'll just add a label anyway and say there are no reviews. Sorry. Okay, so let's just say there are reviews. For each review in c.reviews, it'll add a row and then give the row a class. Everything is given a class, and it'll give it all the information within it, format and so forth. The hyperlink. This hyperlink, they have to set the comment page. This will be where they can write their comment replies. So it's going to be a URL of some sort. And then the reply for each so for each of the for each of the reviews, they also have their own list object of review data in them. So therefore it's going to go through each of them and write down the replies, which are the list objects. And then from there it'll close the rows and so forth and add to that the review. But yeah, it'll be more clear if you go through it and so forth, and yeah, look at it for yourself. But yeah, I'll just go on. Okay, so then beneath this we need the sort reviews. This is basically okay. So this goes through each of the reviews, and for all the reviews, find all of them with a review with a reply to equals rev. So the one we're talking about ID. And then once that happens, you got to remove all of the ones where the reply to is not equal to null. Otherwise, they'll show up again doubly in the reviews. Okay, the next. Okay. Okay, so that's it. That's what we have to do. I know it might sound a bit convoluted right now, but you don't need this render controls for this one. But that's partly because it's all driven by how much information is in the list item. So yeah, basically it's all HTML and controls and so forth with classes attached. Yeah, okay. So the next tutorial we'll make another control and it'll be a bit more complex than this one. So yeah, I'll see you then.